Uh, and I think I also added last year we didn't do so well. I think I added that in the equation. So a lot of good reasons why. Again, personally, I like the competition against different opponents. Obviously, Minnesota is not. We play them in league. We'll play them again here fairly shortly in another league match. But the whole competition, the idea of the Leagues Cup, I like. It's an opportunity for these guys to, show that that was a one-off against LAFC. They're still playing extremely well at a high level. So there's lots of good reasons why we're excited for this game.
And Christian, does it feel different? Does it feel like a break from league play, or is it just another game, another game, another game? How are you looking at it?
I think we're definitely looking at it from a group perspective, right? You win this game, you put yourself in a really good spot to move on in the group. But in total, it is a continuation of our season, right? We want to continue to play well, use the momentum that we've had over the last, 18 games, and continue in that way. So definitely, it's separate, but at the same time, you want to continue the momentum that you've had going into this game.
We'll continue with questions here in the room, and shortly we'll pass also to the folks in Zoom. Please go ahead.
Yeah, for Brian, Christian, both of you guys, faced Minnesota fairly recently and had a good win over them. I'm wondering, in terms of what they try to do, what matchup wise, and how you guys feel like you can get another positive result after that one recently.
Well, I think we can take away a little bit of what happened in the LAFC game in this game. They played a 5 in the back. LAFC, Minnesota normally plays a 5 in the back and transitions really well. So how can we learn from those mistakes that we had against LAFC and implement those corrected mistakes into this game and understand that, look, teams might play you a little bit more defensive to go into penalties, right? It's a group play, and understanding that a team that might play a 5 in the back might sit a little bit. So how can we break them down and get the ball in the box and score goals?
Very well said, Coach. It's going to be a different Minnesota team. They've got some players coming back. It is a tournament format. There'll be different nuances, so it'll change subtly, but they're still a well-coached team. They've got some good players, and we might have the advantage that we're at home and in front of our home fans, but it'll be a tough game.
This is for Christian. Going into this, short tournament and looking at the quick turnaround from game to game, what's the key, and how important is it to not just get the result, but maybe play to the best potential that you can in this first game?
Yeah, like I said, I think you win this first game, it sets you up, right? It puts you in a good a spot to move on to the knockout stages, and it gives you a better chance of getting a home game, right? And that's kind of what these knockout games are all about, right? You want the little advantages that you can get, right? And so can we win this game, put ourselves in a good spot? Now we have Friday, I think it's like a Friday, Sunday, and so we'll have a couple of extra days to rest. And then, games might be coming every 3 games or 3 days. And so how can you rest your body, take those days to relax the mind and get your mind off soccer, and then get right back into it, because we can have a lot of games in a short amount of time.
And Brian, when it comes to this tournament, do you put any emphasis on players' experience, or do you just go for the best 11, the ones that train hardest, or is there like a point where experience can help you in this sort of tournament?
Experience can always help you, Nico, but we're going to play the players that are playing in good form right now. regardless if you're 17, 18 years old or 34 or 37. I shouldn't say Steph's age, but
All right, we'll take a couple of questions here in Zoom, and then later we'll come back for follow-on in the room. Jeremiah, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm curious, Brian. I saw that Snyder and Travion were in the roster. If you could sort of just give your thought process behind those two players coming up from Defiance.
we're allowed to bring up a few more players because we don't have the full complement of 30 currently available to us. So we figured, why not take Snyder and Travion? They've been playing well for Defiance. They're certainly talented young kids. And if we can use them, or if they can experience being on the bench, I think it would be good for their development.
And then one for Christian. I realize this is probably a talking point that's now, I don't know, 8 years old, but every year it seems like the goal is to get you playing one position, and circumstances lead to you playing multiple positions. I guess, how are you managing that this year? And it does, I don't know, from the outside it seems a little different than previous years, but from your perspective, how has that been, just moving around?
Yeah, I think it's been fine. I mean, I would love to be scoring and assisting a whole lot more when I'm in advanced positions, and they just haven't came this year. So, in terms of when I'm higher up the field, yeah, definitely my mindset needs to change. I need to be a little bit more savvy, cleaner in front of goal, more dangerous. And then when you're a little bit further back, your role kind of shifts, right? You sacrifice a little bit of your game for the good of the team, and that's been, something that I've done over the last 8 years. And I've always said that, like, if Schmetz, puts me in a position like right back or center mid, he feels that I can help the team in that position, and he has full confidence that I will. And so for me, it's a compliment that I can play multiple positions, but of course I think every player wants to have their set position, but circumstances change, and after I took my coaching course, I understand that having a player that can play multiple positions can be a bit of a lifesaver in terms of being able to fit other guys into the lineup. So I see all different angles, and I'm definitely trying to do my part and compete in every position.
Well, since you brought it up, I may as well ask, what is the status of your coaching journey?
Still have my B license. I think I won't get my A license until after I retire, but hopefully that's a long time from now.
Thanks.
Here in Zoom, we have a question from Joel. Joel?
¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes. Un gusto saludarlos. Y preguntarles, ¿cómo es que disfrutan tanto el juego y su agilidad? Porque sabemos que desde medio campo empiezan a repartir, o les gusta tanto al entrenador y pues a ti también, Cristian, el mover la pelota, el controlarla, y tienen una explosividad. Muchas gracias y éxito.
¿En español o en inglés? Pues para mí, cuando estoy en medio, sabiendo que tenemos jugadores muy atléticos que pueden cambiar el partido, tenemos que darles la pelota al espacio, porque ahí es cuando ellos pueden ayudar nuestro ataque y jugar rápido. Y defensivamente ahí pendiente, porque sabemos que podemos meter un gol en cada momento, pero defensivamente cómo podemos evitar chances para el otro equipo cuando estamos en ataque.
The question was about this match, and in particular this aspect of your game of changing positions, playing in different positions. Tell us a little bit about what changes in terms of control of the ball and things like that for you and the team. The answer, well, playing in the midfield, obviously we have athletic players in the mid and up front, so it's important to play balls in space. We know that they can play fast, and as a matter of fact, we can score at any given time during a match. Because of that, defensively, we need to be always very mindful of avoiding or preventing chances from the opponent. Any follow-up questions in the room?
Brian, just wanted to get your idea on where Pedro de la Vega is physically. Is there still minute restrictions going into this game, and what those are looking like?
There still is a minute restriction, and it's also, again, based on his actual volume that he has in certain matches. The game against LAFC was a higher tempo, so it's game by game, but he's ready to push out 60 minutes, and we'll see where he lands. We'll see where he gets.
And how motivated did you see Raul, going into this tournament? He likes playing the Mexican teams in general. How have you seen him this week?
It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Raul. He's very motivated. He's been motivated all year long. We've talked about that. He's in a contract year. He's been a great player for us. He'll be motivated. You can see. Look, you guys see it when he comes on the field. He's motivated.